Hello everyone, it's Mrs. Carly. I'm going to talk to you today about letter sounds. I'm going to make this into a series about literacy learning just for pre-K, and in some states, kindergarten, this is where it starts. If you are younger than pre-K, stay tuned, this will help you. I got my little girl to learn letter sounds by the age of like 20 months by doing this exact method. I'm not going to say that it is the best of the best or anything, but it is effective. And so stick with me and see what you learn today. And if you have any comments or you think, hey, I know something that works even better, let me know below because I would love to research that too. So Science of Reading tells us to teach letter sounds first, then the names of lowercase letters, then the names of uppercase letters. This is different than what happened whenever I was in school, and many of you, whenever you were in school, we learned the names of uppercase letters first, right? The reason this is changing is because if you see the uppercase letters and you're out and about, you're not going to be able to decode a word based on that. You'll see the letters and maybe be able to name the letters, which is awesome, but you're not going to be able to name what the word is. So if you teach the sounds first, using the lowercase letter symbols, your child will have a better chance at learning to read because 95% of what we read is lowercase. And if the word is let, for example, and it's all lowercase, your child can say, let. Let. That is the word let, right? So that is the order that we are taught now to teach it in. And if I had learned this before I started teaching, I would have started my teaching career like this. So sounds first, lowercase letter names, then uppercase letter names. In my class, I use Zoophonics, which are what some of those movements were that you saw. It's a multiple modality approach, and it is something that my county has purchased. Not just because my county purchased it do I use it, but I also use it because I think it is the most effective thing that I have seen work with my students. By the end of last year with pre-K, I had about half of my students decoding consonant, vowel, consonant words, and I just about did a happy dance. So that's where we are with, that's where I am with that. So I have created my own order for teaching the letter sounds. There was all sorts of research that I went into this. I looked at the most commonly used letters. I looked at what other people said to do for letter sound teaching. The biggest thing that I took away was make it so that students can see a word within the first 2 or 3 letters that you write or that you're teaching. So I chose my first 2 letters to be A and T. At. Oh, A and T together spells at. And then the kids get a really great confidence boost because they have decoded their first word, and that's pretty awesome. And then of course you can go into other things with word families, sat, mat, fat, pat, etc. I have created my own videos just for my class. I cannot share those here, unfortunately. I think they're very helpful, but I created them for my class because I can't hold up a letter card and do the movement and make the sound and get across to the kids what's supposed to be happening. So I created an audio visual for myself so that I could do the movements and I could create the sounds and have students look at my mouth more specifically while they're looking at the cards. If you know me personally, check out on my Facebook. I will let you know when the parent nights are that I'm going to have. I have different nights where I just bring parents in and I teach them this stuff. It's not a Zoophonics training by any means. I don't want you to think that, but it will show you what your student is learning and how to help them along their learning journey with with what I'm teaching them in class so that there is uniformity at home and at school. This is also open to children who are not yet pre-K aged and children who are older than that if parents are interested in learning. So stay tuned for that. That will happen later on. I show my students those videos daily, but I focus on 1 letter a week. That is because there is controversy there. Some people say, no, focus on just 1 letter a week, just 1 letter a week. And the reason I don't necessarily like that model is because if you're just focusing on 1 letter a week, they're only getting 1 letter a week. That is 26 weeks of teaching 1 letter at a time. So to make it more solidified, what I do is I specifically teach 1 letter a week, but I also am focused on, I also make sure I show my videos every single day in class. And I'm doing the movements and saying the sounds and the songs along with the students so that they can hear it, they can see it, and they are practicing all of them. And it does seem to help to do that. Whenever I do that, students seem to pick up that information even though we haven't gone over it specifically. And that's held true for most of my students. Hold sounds that can be held. So whenever I say that, I'm talking about like the S sound. The S sound can be held, right? S. Or the A sound can be held. Ah, All right, sounds that cannot be held are T and G or P, right? There are lots of them that can and cannot be held. So you're going to probably be playing with that now. There are lots of them that you can hold. There are lots of them that you can't hold. The reason I like to hold the sounds that can be held is because whenever I start teaching children how to decode words, I like to start with the sounds that can be held as the first letter in consonant, vowel, consonant words. So like I said, the first word that they learn is at. Okay, that's a vowel consonant word. Then we have sat. Sat. All right, then I introduce the G. However, this is where it gets tricky because if you make the word tag, you hear ag. 9 times out of 10, your child is going to tell you that you have said the word ag because they have already forgotten the t at the beginning because it sounds so separate. Listen to it again. T, ag. The A and the G blend together nicely, but the T stands alone. So I teach it, but it's not something, if the kids don't get it right away, I don't freak out about that. I try to use other words that have those longer sounds so that students are getting how to blend them first. And then I start teaching those letter sounds with stops at the beginning. Again, my order is not the end-all be-all order, and maybe Zoophonics isn't the end-all be-all way of teaching. It is just something that I have found that works really well for me and my students. I do not have a curriculum written yet, so that's something that I plan to do, and I will be using this order. If you know of an order that seems better, let me know below. Other things that you can look at that are not Zoophonics, for those of you who are not local and cannot attend my parent night, there's Tora the Teacher ABC Phonics Chant. It is multiple modality approach. However, she does teach with the uppercase letter first. Not a bad thing, but you might want to create your own cards to sit up there and show them the lowercase letters as well. Miss Rachel has a good video. It's a phonics song, and she gets a close-up of a mouth saying the different letter sounds. She goes in ABC order. It's ah or b, and you can really see the mouth. Now, if you stuck with me this long, this is close to the end of the video. I'm going to go ahead and give you the letter sound order that I use. Okay, first If you want to get a paper and pen, give me a pause and then you can turn me right back on. All right, this is the order that I do. A, T, S, G, M, I, P, N, O, B, U, D, K, C, E, F, O, L, H, R, K, W, J, X, V, Q, Y, Z. Just a quick note, I do only use the short vowel sounds and I use all of the hard consonant sounds. All right, thank you all for sticking with me this long, and you guys have a wonderful time. Thank you.